right, go for it. Go ahead. I can hear you, David.
Okay, just for me, my camera not going on here. Can you see me? Yeah, I can see you. Okay.
We're ready to go in the conference room.
Excellent. If you need 33, call the public service meeting on October 11th to order. First off, I would like to make a motion to make George Tyros the acting chairman for this meeting, as he is present, and both David and myself are remote.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor?
Abstain?
Motion carried.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Tassoni. First order of business on the agenda is the review and approval of minutes for meetings dated July 29th, 2024. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Thibault Nunes, seconded by Councilor Tassoni to approve the minutes. Is there discussion? All those in favor, aye. It has to be a roll call vote because we're remote, actually. Councilor Tassoni?
Yes.
Councilor Thibault Nunes?
Yes.
Councilor Tyros, yes. Motion passes. Next item of business are the water and sewer abatements, 242 West Broadway. And councilors on the phone will test to see if the conference room camera is working in a moment.
Hey, Christoph, how are you?
Good, how are you? Good. You okay?
No, I don't, I can't.
Come on, this is Rob.
I'm Rob Oliver. Come on in, please. Have a seat right there. The table
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi, morning.
Come in. Welcome to the Public Service Committee of the Gardner City Council.
How are you?
Robert Medicine, the camera works, so you can see it. Yeah. We're here to discuss the water sewer abatement for 242 West Broadway.
Yes.
Still nothing? Okay. Would you mind giving us a brief description of what occurred and what relief you're looking for?
I'm the owner of 242 West Broadway. We purchased the building back in 2022, I think, when the previous owner closed down, and we started doing some renovation since then. From the first year, it was just tearing down stuff, and so the water was all shut off, the gas was all shut off, and we're just doing tearing stuff. And the second year, which is like more recently, we started to doing some minor construction, which will use small amount of water. The whole entire time we only have one bathroom going, which is in the back in the kitchen, and with a lot of trades in there working, we have plumbing, electricity, and Christoph's guys. We in and out there every day pretty much. Like we've seen some problems, especially my plumbing, if we have issue, because we have kind of a mechanic room in the back where the drains come and hook up all the rusty things. It was all pointed out by you guys as well, and by
The sprinkler room?
yeah, by the ABH plumbing as well. Like okay, this is leaking, this is rusted out, we should replace it. We all did that, but we didn't see anything else in terms of like toilet leaking or whatever. Like if we catch it, we'll do it already. So to all of us, we don't feel like, hey, the water bill wasn't supposed to be this high. We just that particular corner alone is like 5,000 itself, and it's just strange. Then I talked to Christoph, which is my GC. We also at that point had a sprinkler company going on in terms of bring a big line from the city coming in. And I do understand that on that particular day, it must have some water,
Yeah, what we did is we worked with the city and New Drain to tie in a new 4-inch sprinkler line to the main, and then they left the 2-inch domestic in place just to service the domestic water. So this, I guess this is how new restaurants are set up, and so this is what, they've been trying to get Bill to do this on this building for a long time. So Ken had to do that, so, he got this huge water bill, that's what he's questioning.
Right.
And we, putting our heads together, there's nothing else in construction or in use of that building that would have used any kind of water, except for perhaps that day when the connection was made. I've never done a connection like that before. I've done residential ones, but I haven't done a commercial one. Jay's done tons of them. And I called him first thing and said, Ken got this bill, you know, what is this about, and does this have to do with your connection? And he said, I don't think so. He said, I've never had that happen before. I said, have you ever had another client of yours that you did a hookup with the city call you after and complain about a big bill? And he said, no. And then, from my limited knowledge, if the city's there with the subcontractor of me doing the water connection, if there is a big loss of water at that point, I would think that that's the city's responsibility to take some responsibility for what happened, because they're there working with the contractor. And it's all outside of his meter too. So I don't see how, if there was water that was spilled in the street, how's it getting tracked through the meter at the restaurant?
Inside.
No.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if that's what the reason is, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's as far as we've been able to go with it.
That's the detective work investigation. Sometimes it requires this sort of like thinking and going back, because it's a few months that have passed too. Our DPW director had said that flushing of the service was done, and that's what he thinks might have led to some high usage.
Yep, that's required after you put in the new line. There was a separate company that we had to hire, not New Drain, not the sprinkler company. We used Eagle Sprinkler to do the fit out inside and to do everything once it came from the street. So that guy basically puts chemicals in it, and did they just flush it out into the parking lot? Yeah, that's what they did, yeah. Yeah, they let the water run into the parking lot until they get a water sample, send the sample away.
Right. And our DPW director, and he had provided notes because he's not here today.
Sure.
Said that the water didn't enter the sewer system, so that's good.
Okay.
That was done for that flushing. Let me ask, because this is a kind of hybrid meeting, counselors on the phone, do you have any questions? Were you able to hear the report clearly?
I was able to hear it. I don't have any questions.
Paul, you're muted.
I'm sorry. I did hear, and I'd like to make a motion to reduce the sewer portion of the bill to a usage of approximately 700 cubic feet, which equals the current usage.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Tassoni, seconded by Councilor Thibault Munez to reduce the usage of approximately 700 cubic feet to equal the current usage. Is there discussion? Say in these situations, in these situations when the water doesn't pass through the sewer system, this is usually the relief that the city will provide to help out residents or business owners. So that is a fair chunk of the bill is the sewer portion.
Okay, that's what that means.
Yeah, and if the water passed through the meter that we got a reading on and there was no fault found with the meter or other circumstance, the water was used on the property, unfortunately.
Okay. So, that will, what they just voted, thank you, Councilman.
Oh, we have to make this is still discussion, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so do you have a comment on that?
I'm just trying to understand it. What he just motioned was that they won't bill Ken for water passing through the sewer.
You won't be billed for the excess sewer portion of the bill.
Okay. So in a normal bill, you're billed proportionally for the sewer, proportional to how much water is used?
Yeah, if I can just.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the way water and sewer are billed is water's metered, sewer is based on what the water's metered at. So your sewer charge is based on your water usage. So So I think what the committee is proposing to vote on is to reduce the sewer charge down to what it would normally be based on the averages that are available from prior and current use. But the water went through the meter, which typically, unless there's some fault from the city, they'll vote to, you pay for the water, get the discount on the sewer because it didn't go in the sewer. So you won't pay the sewer
I
use.
see. Okay,
Yeah, the sewer amount would be the like regular billing amount.
do you understand?
Okay.
Motion made and seconded, roll call vote due to the remote participants. Counselor Tassoni,
Yes.
Counselor Tebow Nunes,
Yes.
Counselor Tyros is a yes. Motion passes, the bill will be reduced. Thank you for coming in and providing that information.
Sure.
Thank you.
You can work with the front desk if you have questions on how that billing works.
Yeah, I believe they'll send out a new bill
Okay.
based on today's meeting.
Then which I need to take care of it, okay?
Are you Counselor Tyro?
I am.
I'm Christoph Scheider.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All right, we're good?
All set, thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you so much.
We'll check if 49 Chelsea Street's here, otherwise
Nice to meet you.
89 Richmond Street. Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Yes, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Forty-nine Chelsea is not here, so 89 Richmond.
Councilor Tassoni was 49 Chelsea Street. Have they appeared previously at a public service committee meeting for a water and sewer abatement?
Have a seat right there.
I don't recall.
I'd entertain a motion to leave this item on the calendar until our next meeting.
Second.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilor Tassoni, second by Councilor Tebow Nunes to leave 49 Chelsea Street until our next public service committee meeting. The next item is the water sewer, I never made a vote on that, sorry. Councilor Tassoni,
Yes.
Councilor Tebow Nunes,
Yes.
Councilor Tyros, yes. Motion passes. Next item is the water and sewer abatement for 89 Richmond Street. Welcome to the Public Service Committee of the Gardner City Council here. We're discussing your water sewer abatement. If you'd like to give a brief description of what occurred and what relief you're looking for today.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be here this morning. 89 Richmond Street, I've been in the house. Every time you bring the bill, I just pay it it was like $500 every 3 months. But suddenly I just had one that just came boom. I was like, what is this? Then I had to make a complaint to the city, to you guys. And you guys sent some of you guys to come and check. They said it was a toilet where you flush, that the water was getting too much and all that. So they now requested I should fix it, which I've already done, because I have the receipt here. I have this one of them. I just changed 2 of the toilets. I changed the one on the first floor, the one on the 3rd floor, and the one on the middle, because it's very expensive. I just have to do this. So I have the receipt, and the receipt for the toilet that I bought is on my phone here if you want to see. So all I'm asking for is just too much. I just had a baby at that time. She's 8 months now, so it's been a lot. So much financial constraint for me. So I don't like to hold water bill. I like to pay it at once. But when this happened, it put me in a state where I could not even I can't go pay this stuff no more. So I'm asking for you guys to do something about it today to be able to clear the bill. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you for that report.
You're welcome.
Councilors Tassoni and Tebow Nunes, do you have questions? You are muted, Councilor Tassoni.
I apologize.
No worries.
Was there an appointment set up with the water department that, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the person's name from 89 Richmond.
Emmanuel
Did you make an
Frank
appointment?
Yeah, they came over to the house to check it out.
The water department came to the house to check it out?
Correct.
Were you there, sir?
I was there, yeah.
And what did they say to you?
They said the toilet, when I flush the toilet, it's taking too much water. So they requested I should replace what do you call it? This one here. Toilet field valve, which I did on the second floor. But what I did on the first floor and the third floor, I just changed the toilet. I felt like it's even better for me. I put a brand new toilet on it. I have the receipt for both, for purchase and replacement for the workmanship.
Understood. Unfortunately, though, the water that was leaking from your toilets still entered the sewer. So typically, with these appeals, providing that the water, doesn't enter the sewer, we're able to relieve portions of the bill. However, in this case, where it's more of just taking care of, of upkeep and maintenance for this property, I'm not sure what we can do as a committee, but I'll leave questions open for the rest of the team as well.
Councilor Tebow Nunes?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Councilor Tassoni. I think, I wonder if there's just maybe a way is there a payment plan or something we could work out in the office there? I don't know if that's not really our decision, but I think that's something that happens, right, in the office management side.
That is something that has been done before. I just have a question, because it looks like the report we have, the readings are back to a normal level, so it looks like the problem was resolved. I'm trying to understand what the difference was.
The difference was, I usually pay like 500.
Oh, you've made a payment towards it already?
No, I mean, when this happened,
Mm-hmm.
it's like times 3 of what I pay. So that's not,
It's 3
not
times.
normal.
Yeah, okay. The bill amount of $16.49.
Yeah, and they came, I think they changed certain things to make sure everything is okay.
Right.
The meter or something that has to do with the water, I think they changed something like that.
It does appear
Exactly, so I'm not too sure, that's what I said, I think.
Right.
So the bottom line, what I'm asking for is this, I cannot afford it.
Right.
I have one job, I have 3 kids, I'm not gonna say I will afford it, make a payment plan, it's not gonna work for me. I have to be honest with you guys. So I spend money to fix this now, so that I can get a better, you guys can help me out.
Oh, that's what we're here to discuss. Now, I have to ask the city engineer, unfortunately, because I'm not fully aware. It's the part where it says the meter was replaced. Was there an issue with the old meter, or was it just old?
No, the city's in the middle of a program to inspect properties for lead water services mandated by the EPA. As part of that program, when we didn't have enough information, we set up a time to go and inspect it. At the same time, the water department's replacing meters. So there's a note in here that there was an apartment, they received a letter from Tate and Howard, so that's our consultant who's running that program.
Okay.
So there was an appointment made to replace and upgrade the water meter at the same time. So that's why, so as far as I know, there was nothing wrong with the existing meter.
Just an upgrade that's going on. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I wasn't sure about. Now, I'm trying to track back, because in February you had received the bill of $16.49. And then in our notes we have on May 9th, a bill was issued in June for $982. So there are 2 bills?
Yeah. There were 2 large bills that came in that made me to make a complaint that this is not normal, there's a problem here.
Oh, which there was with the toilets that you've resolved.
That's what they think. I use the word think, because I'm not sure.
Yeah, has any other
Because
changes?
there was no leak in the house, why
Yeah.
should the bill just jump like that? So for me, I feel like since you guys already said, okay, this is what you have to do, if we have to listen to you. That's why I did what I did, not because I think it has problem.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, now I see are these tenants in the building, or is this where you live?
They are tenants in there. I live in apartment 1.
Okay.
2, there's a tenant, on the 3rd floor there's a tenant.
Were there any tenant changes during this time, or any life changes that?
At that time, no.
No? Okay. It's just, we try to ask questions just to figure out.
No, it's okay.
Can we find a reason to,
Exactly.
abate the bill?
Yeah, but at that time, there was no tenant change, I don't know.
Okay.
But now there is. But the bill has already come down.
Right,
Exactly.
since the toilets were, that
Exactly.
you fixed. If the counselors on the phone would be amendable to, I think in these circumstances, we can provide some relief,
Okay.
but I'm not sure we're gonna be able to provide relief on the whole bill, and if it's possible to help out in terms of, trying to see the totals here, 1649. I'd make a motion to reduce the bill issued for June from $982, reduce it by $500, and provide a payment plan for the remainder. Understanding the extenuating circumstances of life changes, and that you did address the issue and fix the toilets moving forward, but the fact that it's a multifamily with tenants and no issues with the meter, there's not much else that can be done out of fairness. That would be my motion.
I'll second, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Tassoni, second by Councilor Thibault Muniz. Reduce the June bill by $500 and provide a payment plan for the remainder. All those, sorry, is there discussion?
No, I guess my only discussion would be, we're trying to help as best we can, and we don't want to set a precedent. This is my first time where we've actually done this, so we're trying to help, understand the circumstances. I know it's not easy. We're glad that you fixed the issue, and thank you for coming in today to explain the situation to us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate you trying to address these concerns, and unfortunately, the situation presented itself. Councilor Tassoni?
Yes.
Councilor Thibault Muniz?
Yes.
Councilor Tyros, yes. The motion passes.
So,
Do you have a question?
so you said the only amount you can move is $500.
Correct. With
That's
the-
what I just spent to fix the toilet.
I
So that would
understand.
make sense to me.
I understand.
It made no sense to me. That doesn't make sense. So why did I just give you the $500 and forget about fixing the toilet?
Sir,
I disagree to the motion.
this is your property.
I
that you're-
understand, but
I-
something happened, sir. I have to address it. I have the concern.
Correct, you did address it.
Exactly, so I can't take $500 for that. It's not gonna work for me.
Unfortunately,
I have one job, I drive to Boston every day. I ain't gonna go through that. I know what I'm saying. You're not in my shoes. I know my pocket. I feed a baby. I know how much I pay on baby food.
oh, sir, I understand.
I buy diapers. I know what I go through.
I appreciate
You
the
cannot-
situation you're in.
For me, this is it's enough for me.
A potential of the meeting would have been no relief.
This is not a relief. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I spent the toilet I bought. I spent $215. I fixed the toilet with workmanship of $300. And you want to give me $500 for what you think you're going to do for me? That's a waste of my time and a waste of your time. Fixing something at the same time, you give me $500 is like telling me I'm giving you the money back for fixing your toilet.
Sir,
That's not
it's
gonna
your
work.
it's your responsibility as a property owner to take care of those toilets ahead of time and be proactive with that. We apologize. We're trying to help here. We're not trying to hinder the situation.
The bottom line we're trying to say is there was not even a toilet issue. I only did that to please you guys. Trust me, there was none. When did I fix the toilet? Yesterday. Check the other bills. You can tell there's problem somewhere. that you guys cannot identify?
What I can recommend is keep an eye on your next billing cycle. In this situation, there was an appointment made that you as the owner missed that provided another bill of a high usage bill. So next billing cycle, keep an eye on it. If there's an issue, call right away, make an appointment, and we can further investigate it. Like Councilor Tassoni said, as residents, we have responsibilities when the water passes through our system on your water meter. An investigation was done by the city that there was no issue with the water meter. If there was, it would be a different circumstance. Unfortunately, this is the facts that were presented. This is the best relief that we could do at this time.
Well, what I'm trying to explain to you, sir, I'm not trying to waste your time.
Oh, this isn't a waste of time at all.
This thing was done yesterday. Do
Right.
not check the bills after that. I'm trying to let you guys know there is something wrong somewhere.
And we can further investigate that.
So,
You had 3 toilets at this property, right? There were
yes, I
3
have 3
toilets.
toilets, yeah.
And what was done yesterday on
I replaced the 2 toilets yesterday,
okay,
and the EVAB or whatever they call it on the middle floor was replaced yesterday too.
okay.
So, but check the previous bill till yesterday. It came down by itself. That's the point.
After you had replaced the.
I just replaced it yesterday.
Right, you had replaced the
Before.
parts yesterday,
Yeah,
right?
before.
Yeah,
So what I'm trying to say is that the fault is coming from somewhere that is not identifiable with what you think it was. $500 will not do. Honestly, I have to be honest with you guys.
I'm unfortunate that, it's unfortunate that, that's the situation. We have a report here from our DPW director who wasn't able to make today's meeting. It appears that 3 leaky toilets were the cause of the high usage. Water went through the system, and he had actually said he has no choice but to deny the appeal. So we're actually taking a step further to provide some relief and put the payment plan option to help reduce the stress financially of paying your water bill.
I don't know what you guys want to say. But at this point, I'm not pleased with the appeal.
I'm very
I have to be
sad
honest.
to hear
I
that.
spent money, you replaced the money that is to face. You did not reduce the bill. To reduce the bill for it to work for me, you have to do an adjustable, you have to adjust in a way that at least the bill is almost to a little fraction where I can easily pay. I don't want a payment plan. I have mortgage, I pay. This is my personal responsibility. I'm not going to add water bill to my house. I don't do that. If you check the history, the first, second time, or the third time I paid the bill, I clear everything, and that's how I want to live my life. So I'm not looking for an arrangement. All I'm asking for is if you can adjust it a little more further, that will work for me, so that I'll just make a plan and clear it off. I don't want to have this. It's too much.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have a report from the water department that has been to the property, has seen potential cause with the toilets, and 2 high usage bills with now a lower bill. Again, I'm sorry this is the outcome
Do
that.
they have an opinion?
What
How
was
does
it?
this work? I don't know. Do they have an opinion?
This is our city engineer, Rob Oliver.
Okay.
It's our conservation agent.
Okay, they don't have an opinion. I just want to say, they have to say something about it, because I feel like there should be something better to be done about this. Honestly, there's no need for me to spend 500 and get my 500 back. It doesn't make sense no more. I spend that money because hoping that you guys are going to do something better for me, to relieve myself and relieve my family from financial constraint. I don't want to be in my house and the bill is coming in and I'm anxious every time. I don't want to do that. I'm too young to be anxious. I want to just take it off and be happy.
Mr. Osagi, I just want to make sure that you know, has been precedent by this committee, when a homeowner comes and water's gone through the water meter and entered through the sewer system, through the toilet system, traditionally no relief's been provided because the water has entered our sewer system, which all residents have to pay for the expenses. So I hope you can understand the situation we're in, where as a property owner, the responsibility is due unto you to check the usage and pay the bill that comes through the meter. I'm fortunate, I'm really, I wish I could do more.
Are you all set?
If you are, sir,
I'm not all set inside. If you're all set, it's fine with you.
I
But I'm
apologize.
telling you that it does not work. I would have brought all my family here to let you know what's going on.
Sir, I completely understand the
You,
concerns.
you do not understand. If you understand something, then you do something better about it. That's what I think.
I'm doing the best we can.
Sir, thank you for your time.
Is there no other further way to appeal this? Because I'm not going to do this.
Is there a further appeal?
Because
Mr.
I can't stand this.
I-
It's a waste of my time. There's none?
There's no formal process to further appeal. You're certainly welcome to write to the city
Maybe I'll
director
go to the mayor.
or the mayor. You could reach out to the mayor. on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
The Chelsea Street one, do you want to wait until you've gone through everyone else?
Yeah, we made a motion to leave it on our account.
Okay.
If they do come, we can
Do you want to
have them through.
Crestwood?
Yes, next item of business are road openings, Crestwood Drive, vacant lot.
So what's going on with this? I'm curious about. Is someone trying to involve?
Yes,
Right
the
Fantastic.
stakeholders are coming in the room. Welcome to the Gardner City Council's Public Service Committee meeting. I'm George Tyros. Nice to meet you. Jamie.
Justin. Great to see you, Rob.
And we have some councilors on the phone
Oh, great.
today.
Super.
So, just enunciate into the mic for our councilors on the phone, and why don't you introduce yourselves and the situation at hand?
Sure. So my name is Jamie Rowe. I'm employed by Burby Real Estate. There's a piece of property on Crestwood Drive here in Gardner that is a vacant lot that's under agreement, and it's come to our attention that the roadway was resurfaced a few years ago, and associated with that, sometimes it comes a 5-year moratorium for road opening permits, water, sewer, et cetera, et cetera. So we're here asking permission to actually move forward with the sale of this property. This is the owner.
Jerry McKeon.
And we'd like to, probably in the springtime or summer, install the utility stubs and start building this single-family home. I would offer to the committee, in consideration for allowing us to do this work prior to the 5-year moratorium expiring, I would offer a flowable fill, I would offer a performance bond, and I would offer infrared patch. All those three things, I think, take care of the concerns of any municipality in this situation, and hopefully we're doing the right thing by the buyer and the seller of the lot.
Thank you for that report. I'll offer the councilors on the phone an opportunity to ask questions.
We're curious about whereabouts on Crestwood this is.
Yep, so this would be Assessor's Map 22, Lot 21A. What's the house number that you live at?
171.
So right across the street from 171 Crestwood, approximately.
It's actually, yeah, it's more like between 171 and 161 across the street.
So, so the person speaking, the 171, 61 across the street, you're selling the property or developing the property?
I'm the current owner of the property.
Okay.
Any further questions, Councilor Tebow Mayes?
And so just to clarify, the timeline is to install utilities by spring or summer and then to develop by the end of next year, is that?
Correct. I would anticipate the buyer to install the utilities sometime in spring, summer, fall of next year, and start construction of the single-family house in 2025.
Okay. And Crestwood was paved, was that 2 years, just 2 years ago, right? Is that, Rob?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
One of the things I did ask a while ago, and everybody's busy, I understand, but this was a subdivision that was constructed many, many years ago. I would like to think even back then, they would have installed sewer and water stubs, but probably not sure. But any way to check that?
Yeah, we can check our files, because obviously if they don't have to open the road,
Yeah.
even better. Historically, it's 50-50 shot, there's
Yep,
stubs.
that's what I figured.
Yeah, so, would be great, but we can certainly check that.
Thank you.
Counselor Tassoni?
I have no questions. I understand the ask here. I guess the expectation from our end would be that the excavated area must be brought up to within 5 inches of the finished grade of Crestwood Drive. Is that the plan? Yep.
Are you talking about the development of the single-family lot? Or are you talking about the trench?
The trench.
Trench, yeah. So we would install the water and sewer stubs, services, according to the specifications of the Gardner TPW. Whatever they are, that's what we're going to do. In addition to that, we would offer up flowable fill to prevent settling in the future. And again, if there ever was, and typically there isn't with flowable fill, we would put a performance bond in place for the city of Gardner. And in the end, when we get permission to do the final patch, after 1 or 2 years, we would infrared it for you, so that it would be seamless. I don't think I can offer anything else other than that, doing the right thing.
If I might interject, those are all typical things that we would ask for, and I think in combination of everything they're offering, it's even sometimes above what we require. So it's certainly something that we've done in the past.
Jamie, I've just a question on, I see in the notes here, a drain easement on the property. Does that affect anything here at all?
Yep, no, it doesn't. So, so that, I did put that in my original email. There is a drain easement on the right side. If you're on the road looking at the property on the right-hand side. And there is an easement, I believe, granted to the city of Gardner. The pipe terminates not too far into the lot, so we would be asking to extend that a little bit. And if we extend it past the limit of the easement, we would grant an additional easement or an extension to the city of Gardner as well. We just want to take that pipe and move it past the house, so it's not a nuisance for the house to the right existing, or the new house that's going to be constructed.
Does that sound copacetic?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. I think all of this sounds fine. The only question I had was in terms of timing. Is this road opening contingent on the sale of the property, I assume, to kind of
Yes.
the next step of?
Exactly, so,
moving on?
to full disclosure, we have a due diligence period.
Yep.
That just got extended until the 21st,
Okay.
because we wanted to have this meeting, find out what the city was allowing us to do. If the city said no, we were going to back out.
Right.
If the city says yes, then we will move forward with the purchase.
Right.
And it's subject to all permits necessary, so we would do a water and sewer clearance plan or mini site plan. Submit it to the DPW, submit it to the planning, go through the development review board process and make sure everything's all set. And we'd ask for a zoning opinion from the building inspector as well.
Very good. And we only ask these questions because road openings after they've been paved are, something that we need to be diligent about. I certainly have no further questions. I would entertain a motion on the floor.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Tassoni, second by Councilor Thibault Muniz to approve the road opening on Crestwood Drive for the vacant lot. I'm just gonna read it. Number 166 W22/6/21A. And any discussion? All those in favor, Councilor Tassoni?
Yes.
Councilor Thibault Muniz?
Yes.
Counselor Tyros, yes. Motion passes, approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Appreciate it.
You think after 3 years of COVID, I would have the motions down. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You guys use it?
Next road opening is the 4652 Nichols Street.
Check that out.
Check that out. Yep.
Right at the head of the table. Right at the head of the table. Go to the head of the class.
Right, okay.
Good morning. Welcome to the Public Service Committee of the Gardner City Council. Would you mind introducing yourself and speaking to the matter at hand today for Nichols Street?
Sure, Peter Fondini, I'm Jim's Gardner One LLC. We're looking to convert the hot water in that building from electric to gas. We currently have 12 electric hot water tanks in that building. As DPW is fully aware, the water in town is rough. We go through hot water tanks every 3 or 4 years in all of our locations. They're all under warranty, so it doesn't really matter. It's a maintenance issue for us. It's disruptive to tenants. We did a conversion over at Central Street a few years ago. National Grid sleeved the line. We replaced 9 tanks with 2 gas ones. So we're just looking to be able to take care of that. And I know the issue, I think, is the fact that the street has recently, in less than 5 years, been paved.
Right.
So that's what I'm here today.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
Counselor Tassoni, want to start? Do you have any questions or comments?
I have no questions at this time.
Counselor Tebow Nunez?
Did you say that this property is occupied by tenants currently?
Yes, it's a 12-unit building at 46 to 52 Nichols Street.
How does it impact the people who currently live there?
No impact to them other than when their hot water tanks go, they have to wait till we can call a plumber, dispatch a plumber, so various tenants have to wait in an hour or 2, 5 or 6 or 7, until we can dispatch someone to get their units replaced.
And in terms of the road, it's just like in front of the property, it's going to be have to be taken up in order to do the work, and then patch it up, right?
Correct, yeah, it would have to be taken up so that a gas line could be sleeved to the building. Other than the gas line, there's no other work that needs to be done in the street. It's already, building with 12 hot water tanks, the pipes are all run, it's just for the gas line.
I don't know if you have any other questions.
Thank you. My only question, I believe I saw a note to city engineer, is because Unitils would be working in this trench, they would assume responsibility until?
Yeah, Unitil's a little bit different. They own the trench until the city repaves again. So I know Director Arnold has specifics that when either Unitil or National Grid is doing paving, specifically Unitil, we can't use flowable fill. So he's made his recommendations, which is typical for these cases.
All right. That sounds fine. I have no questions. It makes sense why this change is occurring. And certainly with Unitil being involved and owning the trench, there's a few less questions in terms of ownership and quality that's done afterwards. So,
Sure.
Nichols Street, the moratorium's until 2026, which isn't all that far away. I have no concerns and would entertain a motion.
So moved. To approve it.
Motion made by Councilor Tassoni, second by Councilor Tebow Nunez to approve the road opening. Is there discussion? Roll call vote. Councilor Tassoni?
Yes.
Councilor Tebow Nunez?
Yes.
Councilor Tyros, yes. Motion passes. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you. So we'll get something in writing so we can I do, what's the process from here? Just
I
to give
guess-
Unitil something to be like, hey, we've been approved.
I would recommend you contact Unitil and let them know that the city's approved the trench, and they can contact the DPW
Okay.
director if they have questions.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, next item of business is a poll petition, item 11326, a petition by National Grid, Elm Street and Cross Street relocate pole, one single pole approximately 15 feet. Report from the, was there a comment? Otherwise, I'll report from the city engineer.
so I had reviewed this full petition. It was, it's proposed as a part of the plan on Elm Street for the Safe Routes to School. So it's moving an existing pole. I had no issues with it. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It appeared to be in accordance with what the plans are for Elm Street.
No concerns?
Nope.
All right. Counselor Tassoni?
I have no concerns. Unless I'd like to give David the opportunity to speak if he has any questions.
Yeah, so you say it's part of the Safe Routes to School, so is that, what would be the purpose of moving the pole? Just curious.
It's the reconstruction of Elm Street. There's new sidewalks, the roadways being redone as part of this. So and I don't believe this is the first or last pole that's being moved as part of this. I know there were others as well. For whatever reason, Grid has this one on their agenda to get going. But yeah, there were several poles that are being relocated as part of that project.
Because maybe it's obstructing the sidewalk or?
Yeah, either to clear up sidewalk space or they conflicted with new locations of ramps or sidewalks. But yeah, it's basically cleaning everything up.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to recommend to the full committee approval. Secretary.
Motion made by Counselor Tassoni, second by Counselor Tebow Munez to recommend approval of the poll petition. Is there discussion? Roll call vote, Counselor Tassoni?
Yes.
Counselor Tebow Munez?
Yes.
Counselor Tyros, yes, motion passes. Next item of business is a measure to grant easement. Item 11385, a measure to grant National Grid an easement to install a transformer at 95 Pleasant Street. Report from the city engineer.
So this easement and transformer location are part of the plan to install chargers at City Hall for electric vehicles. I know the mayor's working on this, and the city has a grant from National Grid to do this work. So this transformer is part of that, but National Grid needs an easement from the city to place a new transformer on the property at City Hall. Coincidentally, the transformer that National Grid is sizing for this is also sized to include a future upgrade to City Hall's electrical service. So the transformer is actually serving two functions. So at least for me, it's fairly important that this moves forward. I've reviewed the easement, and I believe the city solicitor's office has also reviewed the easement. I'm not aware of any comments from them. I had no comments, so I think it's something prudent that we get done and hopefully keep that money from National Grid flowing to those chargers.
Questions from the committee, Counselor Tassoni?
No questions for me.
Counselor Tebow Munez?
No questions from me.
And my only comment would be we'll have to reach out to the city clerk to ensure if there is a comment from the solicitor's office that it's included, but I have no questions, and I look forward to seeing more electric vehicle chargers at the Knowlton Street parking lot. Entertain a motion.
Okay. This would be a motion to recommend the full committee, correct? Councilor Farrell?
Yes, a recommendation to grant the easement, correct?
I will make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Tassoni, second by Counselor Tebow Munoz to recommend approval of the measure to grant National Grid easement to install a transformer at 95 Pleasant Street. Is there discussion? Roll call vote, Counselor Tassoni,
Yes.
Counselor Tebow Munoz,
Yes.
Counselor Tyros, yes. Motion passes. Thank you. We'll now move into department updates. Director of DPW provided some comments for his update. I'm not sure if he provided anything additional.
I have not seen it.
In that case, we'll move on to survey engineering, Director Alva.
So a few updates for you. The Uptown Rotary is nearing completion. I've been talking to the contractor. There's some basically punch list items left. I know they have some paving they have to do with the American Legion's parking area. He's not sure when they'll get that done, but he knows it's there and he will get it done. There's still some sign work and a couple other small items that they have to do, and I know they're hoping to get out of here soon. So that's that. The Route 140 pedestrian bridge for the rail trail project. As you know, we've got the Mass Trails grant to continue up to 75% design. That contract with the designer is now, has been executed. I anticipate meeting with them shortly to kind of kick things off again. So we'll meet with GPI, our consultant, as well as Mass DOT, and I believe a member of Mass Trails wanted to be there as well. So that project's going to continue on, so I'm happy about that. I know Director Arnold had conveyed, we have a grant. In the past, we're replacing the transmission, one of the transmission mains from Crystal Lake Water Treatment Facility up to the tanks on James Street on Reservoir Hill. We have a contractor now that contract's been awarded, and they are intending to start construction at the end of the month. We have a tentative date of October 28th for them to be in town starting that project. So again, that's good news. The city has a contractor for maintaining streetlights. We're just finishing up on a 3-year contract with Coviello Incorporated. They had worked out great, so we extended their contract out to the full 3 years. It recently went out to bid as it needed to. We had a bid opening yesterday. As of right now, I know Mr. Cormier, our purchasing agent, was just reviewing the bids and their qualifications just to make sure the low bidder was qualified. But we did have a new low bidder, so I would hope we'll get them on board and executed quickly so we don't see any big gaps in repairing and maintaining our streetlights. But the low bidder was the contractor who worked for us prior to Coviello. So they're familiar with the city, and I'm hoping that'll be a nice smooth transition. We had some good news. Chris Coughlin, our DPW business manager, had been in contact with DEP. Our consultant working for us on upgrades at the wastewater treatment plant had recommended to us that there may be more money available through a previous grant we had received. A couple of years ago, we had applied to the Long Island Sound Fund for money for nitrogen upgrades at the wastewater treatment facility. We had received, we're getting $2 million under that through the EPA. It didn't end up being Long Island Sound, but EPA had money and had given us appropriated $2 million towards those improvements. We were told that there was more, so we contacted DEP, and they're going to give us another $1.5 million, which is going to allow the city to, rather than just do a partial upgrade on the blowers for nitrogen treatment, we're going to replace 3 blowers and upgrade the electrical system for that building. So it's a win for the city. It allows us to do a lot more work than we had originally planned under the $2 million that we had received. So that was good news. So our consultant is currently working on plans and specs for the full upgrade of the systems in that building. And then once we get that money, we'll be able to go ahead and do that project. So that was good news and unexpected, kind of came out of nowhere. Lastly, and because Director Arnold's not here, I figured I'd talk about it. All the permits are in line now for the salt shed construction, which is right across the street from us. You can see it from where we're sitting. We've had it flagged for tree clearing and erosion controls to be set, which I believe the gentlemen in DPW have already installed. We're hoping by the end of the month that the tree contractor will be in to clear the trees that are needed for the construction, and at some point in the very near future, I believe the structure itself will be delivered and stored in cold storage for, to be erected next year. So things are moving along there a little bit. That's what I have for you today.
Any questions from the committee?
Thank you for the updates. I'm sorry. Thank you for the update. Sounds like the grant money is going to be a huge help. And I'm in Long Island, so if you need me to try to get some more money, so I can try to help you. I'm just joking.
Yeah. No,
thank you for the update.
you're welcome. Actually, if I may, I have one more update. On the sludge landfill project, on the expansion, our consultant has been working on the environmental impact report, which will get filed with MEPA at some point in the future. We had tentatively scheduled a public information session that we have to do as part of that. We decided to hold off on that, and we're holding off on filing the environmental impact report, not definitely, but for a period. We had learned that DEP is coming out with a report which is addressing biosolids, sludge, statewide, and the issues that communities are having with it, both in how they deal with it and where it goes or how it's stored or treated. So that's supposed to come out this month, and the thought there in our conversations with DEP was that there's a lot of information and information that would maybe impact what we're trying to do, in all likelihood supporting it, in that with the difficulties that communities are having with trucking their biosolids, their sludge off-site for various reasons, but DEP knows it's an issue and they're trying to come up with solutions. So this is the first step in that. Essentially, from what we're told, they've talked and surveyed all communities who have wastewater treatment and sludge to deal with, and the next step in their eyes is once this report is out, they're going to seek public comment from communities and then hopefully start coming up with new regulation in how to deal with sludge. So that's why, after talking with DEP, we want to get that report before because it may impact how our EIR is submitted and worded and the conclusions we draw. So just to give you an update, there's not a lot going on with it right now because we're waiting on that report, but it's still, as we see it, it's a huge issue in how we deal with it. So, but just wanted to update you on that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, that was gonna be my question, actually, but I'm sure you knew that. But I wonder, do we have any idea of what that timeline looks like in terms of the state doing the bearing?
They had told us 2 weeks ago that we might expect that report within a couple of weeks, so, I mean, it literally could come any day. I don't know, we don't know the specifics about, how they're producing it, when they're producing it, other than they said it was coming out shortly. As you know, all things government related, it could be delayed, but we haven't heard anything otherwise, so we're expecting it soon, and we're hoping it's telling and provides some good information.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think a further continuation of the kind of cautious and informed approach the city's taken on this issue, so I think that's good to call out. Councilor Tassoni, any questions for the city engineer?
No.
No.
Just the comments.
I have no further. Move on to anything further?
Nope.
All right, so Conservation Commission, Justin, Conservation Agent.
Hi,
Welcome.
thank you for having me today. It's an honor to be here. My name is Justin Enright. I'm your guys' new conservation agent for the city of Gardner. So far as departmental updates that I have for everybody today, wanted to report that the nature trail project is well underway. I believe that they're about to start some of the regrading phases of the project in order to make the path the way that it was intended to be on the approved plans by both the commission and later DEP. Some of the phases that I've seen a lot of is the wetlands replication work and invasive species removal that have happened on the premises since the beginning of the project. A really large patch of Japanese knotweed, which was asked to be removed as part of the conditions, has been taken care of by the contractor. And the wetlands replication, to me, being the first time that I've actually seen a good wetlands replication in action, it feels like I'm in a life-size diorama, like if you're going to the Harvard Forest, kind of thing. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be constructing a report with photos to later present to my commission. As far as administrative updates, I'm doing my best to help residents and parties that do apply for permits under my jurisdiction, helping them find the right path moving forward. I've made one minor accomplishment since starting, where our online, there are a couple ways that you can submit permits and other documentation to parties and the state, which ultimately oversees a lot of the permits that I have to deal with. And for a long time, the city has been doing a combination of digital submissions and mailing submissions to applicants and the DEP. At one point or another, within the last decade or so, we lost contact with our archival account for the submittal platform. And I went through the proper channels and steps to recover our archival account in order to make our submittal process a little bit more efficient. DEP can now receive the same permit that the applicant receives, or the same order of conditions, or what have you, within light speed in comparison to having to go through certified mail now, and it will also, save the city a little bit of money with some of the submittals that I have to, be in charge of when, dealing with our working in conjunction with them. And yeah, just really excited to finally do that after almost a decade. So we're good on that. I guess so far as just like a minor update in regards to the sludge landfill. I do want to report that working with Rob, Dane, and DPW for recent accidental sediment deposition that happened along the stormwater check dams and swales. A recent DEP report stated that it may have happened due to inundation and aging of that particular stormwater infrastructure. It's a minor deposition, but the agent was advised to fill out an enforcement order as a work order, and for us to work together to remedy the situation and clean it up appropriately. So yeah, that's.
Thank you for that update. Very good.
Can I actually add to that a little bit?
Yeah.
So DEP had received a complaint about a discharge of sediments at the sludge landfill. It's an area we've seen in the past where we've had this happen. DEP came out, they inspected it. It actually was not as bad as the pictures that were submitted, because the pictures that were submitted, I believe, were old from the original disposition of sediment. We have taken steps already after receiving the DEP report. The swale that leads to this drain discharge was cleaned, vegetation was cut down. We've replaced riprap dikes within that swale that hold back some of the sediment. So that was all cleaned up. And then we'll be working with Justin and keeping DEP informed. We have to go into a wetland area to remove some sediments, so that's careful handwork. So new erosion controls will be put out, and Justin will inspect those, and then the guys will just go by hand and remove the sediment. So It's, it's unfortunate it happened, but everybody's been quick to respond, and it'll get cleaned up, and hopefully DEP will be satisfied with the end result.
Very good.
Was there, were there also issues with, isn't there some kind of a sensor or something down along the area where, was there an issue with a sensor failing or something like that, I've heard? Or is that not the case?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. Thank you for taking care of that.
Any further questions from the committee?
I'll just thank you for the report out and welcome to the team.
Thank you so much.
Well done. Keep up the good work. Any counselor requests today, Counselor Tassoni?
No requests at this time.
Counselor Tebow Muniz?
I don't have a request. I did have some questions. I don't know if they're for Dane, we can wait. But I had 3 questions that I was hoping to answer today. One, the brush cutting machine. So I've gotten several complaints this summer about visibility around corners because of overgrowth that typically the city will cut down. Actually, one last week or 2 weeks ago, I went out and cut down some brush myself because it was like a blocking a stop sign. And my understanding is that this machine costs $97,000 to fix. And I'm wondering if anybody knows, if anybody here knows if that, is in the pipeline to be repaired.
So I can attempt to answer that. I don't think I'm privy to everything that's happening with it. I do know, so there's the DPW has a large tractor with a boom-mounted mower, which I'm sure you might have seen in the past. I believe there's an estimate to replace the mower on that tractor for $97,000. That's ludicrous to me, but that's where we are in this world right now. So I believe Director Arnold is looking at all his options, being replacing the tractor and the mower, repairing what we have, and anything in between. So he is looking at it, he's working on it, and and it's unfortunate, but, and I know the guys have gone out and done some handwork where they can, where there's been problems, but, so I don't think there's a resolution just yet, but I know Director Arnold's working on it, and funding is an issue as well.
Thanks, Rob. And the other 2 are mainly just updates around, there's a contractor working on trees. I'm wondering if that timeline has changed, or if the list of trees that the subcontractor is working on, if that's going to be done before the winter, or is that going to kind of roll over into the spring?
Yeah, I don't think I have a complete answer for you. I do know the contractor is in town now working. I don't know what he's gonna get to. I don't have all that information, but I believe they are here working. I've seen the equipment. They're parking it here overnight, so I know they're out working.
Great. All right, thanks. And then paving updates. Do you know if the list of things, or if the list of roads are going to be done in my ward, Denine, Meadowbrook, Hollisley? Do we know kind of where those projects are at? Wrapping up?
Yeah, I believe they're wrapping up. I know they've done the biggest jobs. I believe Meadowbrook, Dinan, and Hosley still need a top coat, which I believe in conversations around the office, I believe next week possibly. But I believe they'll certainly be done, before the paving season ends.
So thank you for those updates. Appreciate it.
Councilor Tassoni?
Yeah, I have inquired about several trees in the brush as well with Director Arnold, and he's very prompt to get back to me with any emails I send or questions that I have, so I've been pleased with his response times, and if we need an update from a paving schedule, I'm sure he'll get that sent out to us as well. I'll request that for sometime next week.
Very good. I have no questions. I thank everyone for their patience navigating this meeting, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Thank you, George. Thank you, Council Towers, for running the meeting.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Tassoni, second by Councilor Tebow Munoz to adjourn. Roll call vote, Councilor Tassoni,
Yes.
Councilor Tebow Munoz,
Yes.
Councilor Tyros, yes. Motion passes, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you, guys.